Good afternoon, on what is a mild, grey and overcast day. It is Sunday the 12th of March and I've got a nice hot cup of tea. And a box to continue unboxing. So, what I've got in here is this bundle of books. These and very nice copy of Silver Road. I've already done an unboxing of Silver Road and a review of it, and also of Mask Witches of Doggerland, which I want to get to review soon. So hopefully by the time you get to see this, I'll have actually reviewed it. But what I'm going to look at here next is In Spoons, in Knives, a 1930s setting source book for the Silver Road. In Spoons, in Knives, the 1930s setting source book for the Silver Road by John Hodgson. The foundries never stop pounding out knives to send to all around the world. The finest tables are dressed with shining silverware from the dirtiest town on God's good earth. The shipyards grow great hulks from iron skeletons, like whales rotting backwards in an endless cacophony of rivets. At night, the streets are alive with jazz and young people fighting and dancing, knives and heels thick in the moonlight, lipstick and blood. Now, Silver Road was a story game, itself settingless, minimal set rules, sophisticated storytelling with your friends, and very nice it was too. Essentially set across sort of a mystical landscape that could be today, could have been the past. But In Spoons and Knives takes it into an urban setting. We have this fantastic artwork. Now this is all kind of it's not AI generated as such, it's AI assisted, a lot of it, and it's and the author is very open about this. It's using it as a tool rather than to simply create. He's already a practiced artist here. John Hodgson, as well as a writer, you will see his content are in books as diverse as the One Ring First Edition and also Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. So bear that in mind. So this is a really fantastic looking, really nicely, cleanly laid out, and really kind of simply laid out as well. And this is set during the economic depression following World War I. And essentially this book does not attempt to provide a comprehensive history of the working poor of 1930s Great Britain. There are far better sources available. It consists of a list of aspects that might figure in or spy your stories set during the period. It's designed to work with an improvisational game like which is what Silver Road is. So here we have scenes and improvised foreshadowing, giving the options for that, rules for that, and there, with different ideas. See what might prompt that, and then so we have, once that's done, we have suggestions how to apply the results of the foreshadowing. So it might be foreshadowing in time, a tyranny of foreshadowing, horror of choice, experience and confidence, and a fully worked example. Excuse me. And then we're looking at character traits and character ideas for the period, and motivations. So that could be veteran of the trenches, communist revolutionary, clergyman or nun, poet of the pylon school, schoolboy, schoolgirl, detective, accountant, policeman, and so on. Groups people might belong to, jobs people do, so character ideas. The groups people might belong to and the jobs they do in places. So So these are designed. You basically using these as prompts, using these to create a world around the player characters and their roles within it, as well as NPCs, places that can be optionally modified, optional modifiers there, and also there. Sorry, and then we've got things that rich people do. So they can be abandoned or demolished, empty, neglected, ruined, thronging, sooty, and so on. Things rich people do: invent machines, visit dance halls for thrills, patronise the poor, and the like. And then we have a discussion of the church and philanthropy, places of charity. Again, nicely contrasted. Again, I do like this. This is essentially a discussion of the church and the philanthropy and places of charity up against, on the opposite page, we've got industrial pollution and the diseases. So this is dealing with water, the air, particles, smells, personal effects, and so on, and the diseases that might create it. Because essentially, all this industry is pumping out pollution, and that's having an effect upon the workers and the poor, and no one really cares. And then we have things, male clothing, female clothing, instruments, atmospherics, and at the same time we have new arrivals. This is setting up tension. So we have immigrants coming in from across the empire. At the same time we have gypsies, Roma travellers making their way across the landscape, ill-trusted, and that continues to this day, unfortunately. We have topics dealing with the difficulties of in Ireland at the time. Basically, Ireland and the United Kingdom and the Irish Free State are locked in a trade war. Then we've got the tensions between communism and fascism discussed here, which would lead to civil unrest, riots, and the like. Stories and twists that come from this, happenings, events, strange events listed there. So things like a beam of sunlight cuts through the smog, leaking pipe, poison smog cloud descends, a sudden downpour of rain. The influence of the old gods, because if you look at things, people are looking for God, and if they don't find that, they're now looking for other answers, and that includes the old gods, ghosts, supernatural story elements, rife during the period. Of course, lots of different writers are writing ghost stories and the like, and people searching for, certainly, for example, spiritualism was rife as well, because they were trying to, a lot of families were trying to contact their those that they lost during the Great War. Obstacles, suggested things to be good or bad at. This is for NPCs and player characters, I'm presuming. We've got a soundtrack, and then further inspiration, list of sort of like, it's essentially, soundtrack. We've got the further inspiration here, which is the further reading and website suggestions, and then ends with more grim shots of, again, this is in black and white, but accompanied by period poetry. So yeah, that is In Spoons, in Knives, and in part this really, In Spoons, in Knives, it suggests more the area of the north of England, its industrial heartland, rather than the southern England, but you can set this anywhere, London as well as the north. The reference here to knives is to the city of Sheffield, which is famed for its cutlery, among other things, And I mean, Sheffield itself doesn't appear in many role-playing games, and it doesn't necessarily appear here, but it's the obvious reference. Whereas something like the role-playing game Liminal, it does appear because that's the author's hometown. And this, again, as a source book, works for the Silver Road, but it also works for other 30 set role-playing games. So you could easily look at this as inspiration potentially for atmosphere for, say, Trail of Cthulhu, which is Lovecraftian investigative role-playing set in the 1930s. So yeah, that is In Spoons in Knives, a supplement for the Silver Road, published by Handiwork Games. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below, and of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a package containing a book or game which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. In the meantime, thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.